this scenario, if you look at it, actually has a watch new rows thing. And I don't think it's showing this, but the schedule is set for every 1 minute. And that doesn't work. This scenario is off, but no matter how big this grows, I'm not going to need it every 1 minute. So let me show you what I did instead. Let's look at this one. So instead, what I did, and this took me all day, one day, to figure out, 5 hours probably. But what I did was, instead of having it set up with Google Sheets, I have it set to have a custom webhook that goes to Airtable. And that sounds like a difference without a distinction without a difference, but it's not. So the webhook, when you set up a webhook, it gives you a URL. And so you copy that URL to your clipboard, and then you go into Airtable. So let's go into Airtable here. Actually, this is the same one. So you go into Airtable, you go into your data, you add an automation. So when a record is created in that spreadsheet, you run a script. And I have the script text linked below because that's the part that really, really matters here. Because what you're doing with this script is that you're saying, when the webhook gets data, then I want you to run this automation. So let me show you this. Okay, so here's where you do this, and I'll show you it here. You click Edit Code, and if you set it up with the webhook URL that I have in the linked in the description below, then all you ever have to do is update the webhook URL here. So then what we're saying is, let's pull in a record, this record ID here. You need to have that name defined here with the input variables. And then every single time this gets a hit, that's when you run the automation. So instead of checking every single minute or checking every hour, because checking every hour doesn't work, because let's say somebody wanted their headlines done at the beginning of the hour, but it wasn't going to run again for another 55 minutes, then they're going to think it's broken. They're going to do it again and again and again. So this is the way around it. And then you can run one at a time, and it's no big deal. So once you do this, so then when you go back to Make, or Boost.Space is what I have, then the Airtable pulls in, and it pulls in the record ID, and then you can go on with your happy day any way you want. And Airtable just feels like a more secure way to test these scenarios anyway. You don't have to keep running through and adding more lines to your database or to your spreadsheet or whatever. And I haven't even scratched the surface of what all I can do with Airtable, and I'm excited to find out. But I do think that connecting the webhooks to Airtable will save everybody time and money and energy, and then you can use Airtable as its own database. Like I said, I haven't even tested it, but I know that Airtable has its own email situation. So you could, once somebody submits a record, you could send an email from Airtable. So there's lots and lots of things you can do there. So it's not just another spreadsheet solution. There are ways to do webhooks within Google Sheets, but that felt harder than switching software to me. Hope this was helpful.